everyone, and welcome by Yoga with Annie. This is your place for yoga stories and lots of fun. It's very easy to do. Just do all the movements with me. And we're going to start by sitting on our bottoms, crossing our legs, and we're going to bring our hands to our heart and say our special yoga word, which is Namaste. Say after me, 1, 2, 3, Namaste. Now we are ready to start. Once upon a time, there lived a mother and her son Jack on their small farm in the country. Every day, Jack will help his mother with chores like chopping the wood. So let's all come and stand up tall. We make our legs wide. We crisscross our fingers behind our back and fold forward, letting our arms drop over their top, saying chop, 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 and we come back. Now Jack will also help feeding Betsy the cow and Kitter the cat. So let's come down on all fours, and we're going to make like Kitter cat by rounding our back up, and like Betsy the cow, we're going to drop our belly and look up. And one more time like Kitter cat, round your back, and Betsy the cow, come down again. Let's come back to our sitting position. But despite all their hard work, Jack and his mother were very poor, with barely enough money to keep themselves fed. Then one day, Jack's mom said, "What shall we do? We don't have enough money to buy seed for the farm this year. We must sell old Betsy with the money to buy enough seed to plant a good crops." "All right, mother," said Jack. "It's market day today. I'll go into town and sell Betsy. I will just put on my shoes and get my hat." So Jack put on his shoes. So let's sit up tall, legs outstretched in front of you. You can bend your knees if you cannot straighten your legs. Then we go down, put on the one shoe and come up. And we put on the other shoe and come back up. But where is his hat? So let's take our arms out wide and twist around the way, all the way to get his hat. But there's no hat. Let's try the other side. So we swing our arms around, twisting again. There's no hat. The hat is on the top shelf. So let's go up, stretching all the way as high as we can, and we put on our hat. So let's stand up. So as Jack walked out of the house, he realized what a beautiful morning this is. So he reaches his arms up and greets the sun, saying, "Hello, sun." Now Jack is ready to go to the market. So Jack got Betsy and started to walk to town. So we're going to use opposite arm to leg as we walk, lifting our knees all the way to town. Well, Jack hadn't gone far when he met a wizard-looking old man. And this wizard man stepped 1 foot forward. And let's bend into our knee. Bring our one hand on our back leg and sweep our top arm all the way up. And the old wizard man said to him, "Good morning, Jack." "Good morning to you," said Jack, wondering how the little old man knew his name. And what his wizard does, his wizard pose on the other side. So let's come back, stepping our other foot forward, bending to our knee, put our hand on our back leg, and sweep up our other arm all the way to the top and over. "Where are you off to this fine morning?" asked the old man. "I'm going to the market to sell our cow Betsy." And let's come back. "Well, what a helpful son you are," said the old man. "I have a special deal for such a good boy like you." The little old man looked around. Let's turn our heads from the one side to the other side, and again, looking. And he looked around to make sure no one was watching. And then he took out his tiny brown bag. So let's make a fist with our one hand, put our other hand on top, and as we open the bag, we lift our fingers up as high as we can. Wow, that looks great. Let's switch our hands. So make a fist with your other hand. This hand comes on top now. And let's open our bag, lifting our fingers up, and show Jack what's inside. What do you guys think is inside? Beans, asked Jack, and he looked a little confused. 4 magical bean seeds to be exact, young man, said the old man. So let's spread our fingers out wide and let each finger touch the thumb as we count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well done. Now let's try the other hand. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well done, everyone. So magical are these beans that if you plant them overnight, by morning they grow right up to the sky, promised the funny little man. And because you're such a good boy, they're all yours in trade for that old Betsy. Really, said Jack. And you're quite sure they're magical? I am indeed, said the old wizard-looking man. And if it doesn't turn out to be true, you can have Betsy back. Jack did not know whether or not he should accept, so he shrugged his shoulders up and down, up and down. Let's see if your shoulders can touch your ears. Go up and down. Well, that sounds fair, said Jack, as he handed over Betsy. He pocketed the beans and headed back home to show his mother. At home, Jack's mom asked him how much did he get for old Betsy. Jack smiled and reached into his pocket. Just look at these beans, mother, they're magical. Plant them overnight and... What? Cried Jack's mother. Oh my boy, how could you give away Betsy for 4 beans? And Jack ran. Let's run with him upstairs, lifting our knees. And he ran up to his little room in the attic. So sorry he was. And he threw the beans angrily out of the window. And he climbed into his bed. So we go down, lying on our backs. We bend our knees and take hold of our feet, keeping the soles of our feet facing up to the sky. And we rock from side to side. After much tossing and turning, at last Jack dropped off to sleep. But during the night, the beans started to grow. So let's pretend we are the beans in the earth and that starts to grow. So we're going to turn around and kneel down. We tuck ourselves up into a little tiny bean and hands next to our sides. Now we start to grow. So let's wiggle a little bit. And we bring our roots, that are our arms, bring them forward. Now slowly, we are going to keep our arms and elbows on the ground while lifting our tailbone up and placing our roots further forward. Tuck our tummies in. Now we start to grow a little bit more. So we push ourselves forward, coming down on our stomach, lying down, making one long root. Let's place our hands next to your shoulders and push up with your arms into a seedling, lifting your head up. Now from here, we are going to lift our tailbone up and wiggle it out of the ground. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And let's walk our feet closer to our hands, and you can bend your knees. And let's start to grow up all the way high into a beanstalk tree. So what we're going to do, we're going to place the heel of our one foot on top of the other. Bring your hands together at your heart and grow your branches all the way up. Let's see if we can do our beanstalk tree on the other side. So bring down your hands. We're going to switch our legs. So place the heel of your other foot on top of the other. Bring your hands to your heart. And let's grow our branches all the way up. That's it. You guys look beautiful. And coming back down. Let's lie down in bed again. And this time, we are going to draw our knees up and give him a big hug. When Jack woke up the next morning, his room looked strange. The sun was shining into part of it, like it normally did, and yet all the rest was quite dark and shady. So Jack gave a big stretch in the bed. Let's widen our legs and arms as we stretch with Jack. So Jack got up and went to the window. So let's stand up. We put our feet together. We bend forward from our middle, keeping our back nice and long and straight. We pull our tummy in to help our back. And we take our arms in front of us and we pull the curtains open. And we come up. And what do you think he saw? Why, the beans he had thrown out, lift your hands up, out of the window, had sprung up into a big beanstalk tree, which went up. Let's go up on our toes and down. And it went up and up and up, all the way until it reached the sky. Using the leaves and twisty vines like the rungs of a ladder, Jack climbed. So we're using opposite arm and leg again. And let's climb with Jack. So let's climb up, up, up. And he climbed up until he reached the sky. And when he got there, he found a long, broad road, winding its way through the clouds to a tall castle off in the distance. Let's stand wide with our legs. Our feet are forward, our hands together above our head, making a pointy roof for our castle. Wow, you guys are beautiful castles. Well done. And you can bring your hands down for me again. The castle belonged to a big giant. Jack knocked on the door and the giant's wife let him in and said, "I'm sure a growing boy like you would like some soup." She took Jack into the kitchen and gave him some soup. But Jack had only taken a few bites when he heard thump, thump, thump. The whole house began to tremble with noise of someone coming. Let's do our giant walk. We widen our legs. We're going to bend forward and take hold of our ankles, lifting one foot up after the other and saying thump, thump, thump as we walk like a big giant. Now place your hands on your hips and push up all the way. "Oh no, it's my husband," said the giant woman. "We will have to hide you. My husband doesn't like kids. Here, come quick and jump in here." And she hurried Jack into a large copper pot sitting beside the stove, just as her husband, the giant, came in. Let's hide with Jack. So you can put your feet a little bit closer, put your hands to our heart, and slowly dropping our bottoms to the ground. That's it. The giant said, "I'm ready for my soup." "Ah, what's that smell?" The giant said, "Fee, fi, foam, I smell a boy." "Nonsense," said his wife. "We haven't had a boy in this castle for years. Go wash your hands. I'll get the soup ready." So the giant went off to wash his hands. Let's rub our hands together as fast as we can, washing our hands. So Jack was about to make a run for it when the woman stopped him. And she said, "Wait until he's asleep. He always sleeps after soup." So Jack peeked out of the copper pot just as the giant returned to the kitchen, carrying a basket filled with golden eggs and a sickly-looking white hen. Can you look like a hen? Let's try. So we bring our hands a little bit forward, then we bring our feet next to one another, coming up on our toes, and place our bottoms on our heels. We bring our hands next to our sides. If you feel good here, you can stay here. Otherwise, let's try and lift our back upright and long. We bring our hands right here, so it looks like small wings, and we can flap them. The giant poked the hen and growled, "Lay!" And the hen laid an egg made of gold, which the giant added to the basket. So we bring our hands down again, we drop our knees, we flatten our feet, and we're going to tuck ourselves up into a golden egg. After his soup, the giant went to the closet and pulled out a golden harp with the face of a sad young girl. Now it is time to show everyone what beautiful harps we can be. So we're coming up and we stay on our knees, then we put our hands around to our lower back and press our bottoms forward, lifting our hearts to the sky, looking up. That's it, you guys are beautiful harps. The giant poked the harp and growled, "Play!" And the harp began to play a gentle tune, and the giant fell asleep. So let's bring our hearts back forward, drop our bottoms to our heels, and we're going to tuck ourselves up into the copper pot, just like Jack. Jack crept out of the copper pot, and he began to tiptoe out of the kitchen. So very quietly, we come up high onto our tiptoes, and we sneak through the castle. Can you be on your toes? Very softly. Let's sneak around. I say, just as he was about to leave, he heard the harp girl crying. Jack returned to the kitchen and he grabbed the sickly hen. Let's get the hen. We stand with our feet wide, our toes are pointing forward. Then we turn our one foot out to the side, keeping our legs straight. Bring up our arms and we lean to the side, taking this hand under your knee. Grab your hen while the other arm comes up. And we come up again. Keeping our arms wide, we turn our foot in. And now let's grab the singing harp. So now we turn our other foot out to the side, keeping our legs straight. And we're going to lean to the side, taking this hand under your knee and the other one straight up. And we're going to grab the harp and we come up all the way. And we can lower our hands and bring our feet back together. Phew, that was a hard one. Well done, everyone. So Jack began to tiptoe back out. So very quietly, we come up high onto our toes and sneak through the castle. So let's sneak. Shh, very quietly. So just as Jack was about to go out of the castle, the hen gave a cackle sound which woke the giant up. And he started to run. So let's run with Jack. Fast, fast, fast. And just as Jack was running, he looked back and he saw the giant starting to chase him. Let's do our giant walk again. So widen our feet. We're going down. Take hold of our ankles and lift one leg. Bum, 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 bum. Put your hands back at your side and come back all the way up. So Jack ran as fast as he could while the giant came rushing after him. And Jack quickly started to climb down the beanstalk tree. Let's climb down with him. So remember, we are using opposite arm and leg. And this time we're going faster. So we want to get down. The giant suddenly saw Jack disappear. Confused, the giant looked around. Let's put up our big eyes. So we bring our thumbs and fingers together and put on your big eyes and let's look. And he looked through the clouds and he saw Jack underneath climbing down. So the giant stomped his foot and he roared angrily. As he neared the bottom, Jack called out, "Mother, please hurry, bring me the axe." Jack jumped down. He got hold of the axe and began to chop away at the beanstalk. Let's help Jack. So we widen our legs again. We crisscross our fingers behind our back and fold forward, letting our arms drop over the top, saying chop, chop, and one more time, chop, and come up. Luckily, because of all the chores he's done over the years, he became quite good at chopping, and it didn't take him long for him to chop through all the beanstalk. But then this beanstalk started to lean one way, then the other. So let's stand up tall. We put our feet together, reach our arms above us, hands together. Then we lift and we lean over to the one side, still pointing upwards as much as possible. Then we lean up, going all the way to the other side, just like the beanstalk is about to fall. And we come up and bring our hands back to our hearts and widen our feet a little bit. Jack gave one last big chop with the axe, and the beanstalk began to topple over, falling flat on the ground. So let's take our bottoms down to the floor, and this time we're going to lie down in a very comfortable position, and you can place your hands anywhere that is comfortable for you. The singing harp thanked Jack for rescuing her from the giant. She had hated being locked up in the closet all day and night. With a bit of patience and his mother's help, it didn't take long for Jack to get the sickly hen back in good health, and the grateful hen continued to lay a fresh golden egg every day. Jack used the money from selling the golden eggs to buy back old Betsy, purchasing seed for the spring crops and to fix up the farm. He even had enough left over to invite every one of his neighbors over for a nice meal, complete with music from the singing harp. And we can start to sit up again. And so Jack, his mother, old Betsy, the golden harp, and the white hen lived happily ever after. Namaste.